Hi there and welcome back, where today we're going to be talking about Othello, the new song that just came out from Tomoo. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm a little bit of an increasing Tomoo fan ever since I first heard her with the song Ginger and then went back and thoroughly listened through her entire catalogue, if I'm entirely honest. I really love the sound. As I pointed out, I think there's something very charming about it. It both has the incredibly cool quality of just sounding like accessible, fun pop music, but each song really has its own unique quality as well. And plus the way that she infuses piano playing and just a real sense of actual musicianship in there. There's nothing too twiddly, but everything feels honest. You can really hear the hands of the musicians on the keys. The drum lines usually have a good sort of bounce to them, but they all feel like very real drums. Everything about her songs both really has a pop quality mixed in and infused with a sense of genuine feeling, like honesty to it. So where does Othello stack in this wonderful pantheon of songs that she's been delivering so far in her short but very impressive pop musician career? Well, first of all, looking at how this song is structured, it would be worth pointing out that this is very much of her style. So we're not going in any particularly different or tangential directions to what we'd usually expect from a Tomoo song, but it does nicely encapsulate a lot of those qualities. First of all, we have that kind of barroom style piano playing that she does, very much bouncing chords, a little bit of left and right sort of bouncing between them with a bit of interesting rhythm, and that, as always, is infectious, it's fun, and I really like that style of piano playing, as I've said previously, and it really is very much here. Now, along with that, we get a very solid bottom end to this song. I felt that the kick drum particularly felt really solid and quite bassy here. The bass guitar itself is often down there, giving a lot of support to it. And so you have quite a solid thump, a solid low end to this song that makes it a real head bopper. I wouldn't say there's anything particularly complicated happening rhythmically here. Mostly what you get from the bass and the drums is just that sort of 1-2, the time signature being noted so that the rest of the sounds can find the interesting rhythm between them. The piano, as I said, is very much doing that, but there's other little sounds that come in. Just right from the get-go, we get this weird little saw synth that comes in, doing like a bass sound underneath. Later on, we get an electric organ come in there as well, which nicely plays in between the piano. You can really tell that Tomoo, I would assume, I must be certain that Tomoo was sitting in the studio just saying, well, look, now I've laid down the piano line, get me some other sounds. I'm going to do a little bit of electric organ here, going to do a little bit of saw synth here. She was just playing, adding little sounds in between, which you could feel that playfulness. It really felt like what happens when you get a keyboard player and you allow them to layer sounds. And this is another thing that makes a keyboard so interesting. See, I've often said that every rock band benefits from having a keyboard player because keyboard player can really do any sound they want. It's the same instrument, but you can choose totally different sounds. Now, when you basically, your entire act is you're a singer who plays with keys, that opens up a lot of potential possibilities, because then you can just sit there layering as many layers on top of each other, and you can be an entire orchestra if you want to. Now, obviously, if you're going to just be an orchestra, you'd be better off hiring the real musicians and doing actual orchestral sounds for the sake of having the sort of realism of that sound. So that's not really what I mean, but what I'm saying is that you can layer up a lot of different things, and that is what really is going on here. I felt that as I mentioned, she really was able to put down the piano first of all, as perhaps what she sat and wrote the song as, but then could bring in a synthesizer, bring in an electric organ, change the sound fonts, those kind of things. And this is somewhere where I really want to see her to continue to grow. Yes, piano seems to be at the core of what she does, but she doesn't have to always do that. She can go for very different sounds per song. I mentioned previously how I felt that the two artists who she reminded me of was a mixture of Aiko for her piano leanings, but also to Otsukarai for the sort of arrangements where you can really hear that she's layered her writing. And now Otsukarai worked with some arrangers early on, but you could really tell that they were working on layering up her own sounds, which she continued to do as she grew older. And that's something that I would like to see Tomoo do, and really the first indications of that were clear in Othello, or at least early indications were clear in Othello, that she is layering up her sounds more, because that could lead to all kinds of things. She could go for very synthetic sounding songs for a bit of a laugh. She could go for things that are totally we wouldn't even expect. I noticed this song had a little bit of that sort of brass band feeling as well. There were some brass instruments, some trumpets, giving little stabs just to note certain points of the rhythm. That again reminded me a lot of early Otsukarai music. She had a lot. I did a video recently about Sakuranbo, which was a very famous song of hers, and that had that in there. And a lot of the time, the brass songs in Otsukarai songs were keyboard played. Not always real, sometimes real brass, but not always real brass. And so, you know, this is what I mean. This is the sort of artist, Tomoo, who she could sit down and with good quality sound fonts and good quality keyboards and synthesizers, she can create anything. So that's the direction I hope this is leading in. But at the moment with Othello, we've got a song that's very much what you'd expect from Tomoo, but I love that she is playing with that. You can hear little sounds coming in left and right where you know she was like, oh, I'm going to just put a bit of that in there, I'm going to put a bit of this in here. That sort of dabbling that really great musicians do. The sort of musician who isn't just a musician, isn't just a piano songwriter, but really is an arrangement songwriter. The sort of musician who hears a whole song, a whole arrangement, rather than just here's my instrument and then everyone else will just, you know, there'll be a drum beat and there'll be this. You know, sort of musician who really knows that a song is about layers. So that side I really enjoyed. Simply from a commercial aspect though, yeah, it was really catchy. Maybe not gonna have quite as much impact as Ginger, but it feels like another song that's in that sort of, hey, she's got a really good single vibe. So I really hope this does well. She's got like 100,000 views at the time I was recording this, and it has been out for a few days. So hopefully that'll keep on going. It'll keep on snowballing with the correct exposure, I'm sure, with my sub 1,000 subs. I love you all. Hopefully we can do something to help. Yay, share this song if you like it. But no, seriously, I do hope this does well for her. I thought the video was really cool as well. Some effort went into that. It was a little bit kooky, a little bit crazy. I felt, again, there was actually some Icor references in there. There was some weird references to other music videos that I kind of thought was cool. And on top of that as well, there was like, well, actually there was one bit, there was like a Dilbert comic strip in there. I promise. Look for it, you'll find it. There was a Dilbert comic strip in this as well. This was a pretty kind of bizarre, fun, playful video, as some of her previous ones have been as well. I like the fact that she has videos that tend to be quite colourful. They kind of have the fun of her personality come out, and yet at the same time, they almost feel like the weird and wonderful adventures of a very nice, normal, relatable person. You know, it's all this colourful stuff, all this going through doors into different dimensions, but it is all, you know, very much like a normal house, a normal sort of bedroom layout, even if it's on a soundstage. I like that. There's something nice about the whole way she presents her stuff that makes it both escapist and relatable at the same time. And so that's the kind of thing that I hope makes this very catchy song catch on with more people. But yeah, no, this was a great quality song that I think has a lot of commercial value, and I hope it keeps on pushing her brand. For want of a better expression. How about, let's hope it allows her to grow her success as a wonderful artiste. So in conclusion, yeah, this is pretty much the sort of thing that I wanted from Tomoo. Those little highlights, those little indications of how bright the future probably is for her as an artist, continuation of the quality and ability to still be accessible, ability to still have the nice musical touches that a musician can appreciate, whilst also having the feeling of a genuine pop writer that can get through to people who are just sort of general casual listeners. I'm really hoping to hear a lot more from her, and I'm excited to continue following this journey, and I'm really hoping I'm going to be able to get to see her live at the end of this year. I'm crossing my fingers and trying to get those tickets. But yeah, great stuff. I hope you enjoyed this too. I'm looking forward to seeing what you say in the comments, and until I hopefully see you very soon on another one of these videos, for now, ciao ciao.